one thing, like I say, on a lot of the engines, you'll find that they end with 7, like tank number 47, or 7-liter engine, or 7-inch tracks, or sevens. I really like sevens. Like I said, I like to commemorate things, and it's kind of funny. Like, a lot of people said Hitler was crazy, or the Fuhrer was crazy, and that's because it was me leading the country, or basically people back then. And I was like, let's try putting some lead armor on a tank and see what happens, just for the fun of it. Like, I wasn't really fighting a war. I wasn't trying to fight a war. Like, I was just doing construction and tractors and tracked vehicles and messing around with that. Like, I didn't even know that the war was even happening, or even had happened, really. I mean, because, like, I was leading the country for like thousands of years, and all of a sudden we get up into Kennedy and Carter and Nixon, and all of a sudden, oh well, we're president now. And basically you have like a couple world leaders doing some stuff, and it's like, creator of humanity, the real Lucifer, inventor of steam trains, steam shovels, the Titanic, aircraft wings, medical, a lot of things. And all of a sudden you basically have pretty much someone like Nixon going, oil pipeline! And by the way, they did build the other pipeline, and the American government has, on the Alaskan pipeline, they built the other pipeline in 3 sections, and then there's the American, and then there's the other pipeline that goes out to the ocean, and then the military secret pipeline, which also goes out over there, which had a little base around it or something like that. Anyway, yeah, and Nixon was like, and like taking the money, or whatever. Anyway, and I think he might have had one of the people killed on the project. I don't really know. Somebody killed somebody on the oil line pipeline because there was so much money, and I think maybe somebody in the White House went, oh well, or something. I don't really know exactly what the deal was. It was something about the Union, and the Union also has more to do with the United States of America. Like I say, unions was my idea, and actually goes way back to Britain and all kinds of other stuff. So, I was just trying to get the workers to be treated better, as well as, upgrade things and all that other stuff. Anyway, I'm like this massive, big, huge ship, just like, and just like this huge, massive ship, just like going through humanity and time and space. And, I was building about by like 1200 or whatever, with wagons and steam vessels and steam ships and aircraft, and I'm just like, and all of a sudden this president's like, you don't really have a ship, like, like this huge massive steamboat's like, and you have Nixon going, it's not really here, like, there's what I was doing, I was before Earth, Lucifer, creator of humanity, and I'm just like, and 2,700 generations, and Nixon's like, doesn't really exist. And it's like, $3,000 years of commemorations. Some factories going back 5,000 to 7,000 years. Swords that were made just for the hell of it, that are 3,000, 4,000 years old. And then you have Nixon. So, and Kennedy going, lobotomize him. Anyway, they could do certain things, but anyway, yeah. So, anyway, like I say, a lot of my other races would get really, 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 really protective of me. So protective that sometimes if some people would even think about hurting me, they would just, you don't exist anymore. I had some fanatics, not fanatics, I don't want to say the word fanatics. I just had some really devout followers that were incredibly devout. Anyway, and like I have races that actually depend on my survival. Like if I don't survive, then they don't survive. Because some other groups would actually kill them, or hurt them, or not create them. So there's all this stuff. And like also like how I was just saving people and protecting people for so long that it's like I was that that one protecting and saving. So anyway, I didn't really want to build tanks. I was doing cannons and stuff, and then there was war and stuff, and I had a need all of a sudden, and I told a group to just mess around and go ahead and build some stuff. I was really thinking tractors, farm tractors, all that kind of stuff, and somehow it ended up being tanks instead of tractors. Well, I mean, I'm sure there were dozers and farm tractors and stuff like that, although they didn't really do dozers back then because the engines weren't that great, and they sucked a lot of fuel. So they mostly did like pull behind things and stuff like that. And I like the pull behind things too, actually. It was kind of like my fault because I was kind of like, I grew up inventing like pull behind scrapers and stuff. Like they used to use horse-drawn pull behind scraper boxes. And then later on they started using the tractors and stuff. So I was kind of like old school. I wasn't really thinking about putting the blade up in the front that quickly. So that's partly my fault as well. So, I mean, I'm an old fogey, what can I say? And I was just like, yeah, whatever, I mean, millions of years. I don't know. Like, I was just like, very much neutral on the whole subject. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like the movie people. Like, there's a lot of people in Hollywood that are like, it's like, yeah, I mean, I was doing that thing in the past and just kind of like cruising along, and then we get to Kennedy, and all of a sudden things get all confused. So, and yeah, I mean, in the past, it's just like, I want this, and people are like, oh, okay, cool, all right, and it's done. And most of my ideas and most of the things I want are really cool anyway. So, yeah, and then you have a whole bunch of Hollywood and a whole bunch of other stuff, and some people get all confused, and some other people think they can lie and hide things, and some other people don't like that. Anyway, I mean, it's just like, yeah, I mean, you only have one creator. So, I mean, in general, there's probably a couple more than that involved in the human race. But, like, I can name, like, 50 pretty big entities or life forms or creator, like AI or whatever, that probably took part. And a whole bunch of other lesser, like, just normal people. I mean, normal people do things in life and space. Anyway, just like the person who, I don't know, I mean, some people invent, some people lead countries, some people create life forms, some people, yeah. So anyway, yeah. I know, a little unimpressive maybe, but I don't know. Like I said, this is supposed to be my vacation. I'm just like kicking it with my peoples. So, I mean, it was supposed to be a happy surprise. It's supposed to be like a, hey guys, I'm your creator, how's it going? Yeah, I'm the real one. Yeah, my name's Lucifer. Like, it's supposed to be like that. And everyone's supposed to go, so awesome! It's like, yeah, it's not supposed to be like, death, kill, whatever. It's like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, but instead some people are like, deny, 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 and it's like, 5,000 years of commemorations? Thousands of cross-leading little notes? How I like to commemorate, like, breaking the sound barrier with the Mach 1 which is a Ford Mustang, which is also a, all this connecting stuff. Really like a big spider web of connections. And somebody's like, deny! It's like, how about all the medals, the eagle on everything? Hitler's eagle, the United States eagle, the stars on the flag, White Star Lines, Lucifer Star, all this, means nothing. Commemorations everywhere? Okay. It's like thousands of clues, millions of clues of this equals that, equals that, equals that, equals that, equals that. And somebody's like, deny. It's like, how exactly are you going to deny something the size of the Titanic? Or it's like saying there is no Russia. It doesn't exist. Russia doesn't exist. There are no Russians. It's like, I'm pretty sure they exist. It's like, I'm pretty sure they exist as a country and a people. I don't know, but I mean, some people can deny it, I guess. I mean, it's free will, free choice, free country. So, I mean, with rules.